All right, we're gonna try this. So we're live in the studio, so we're gonna see how this works, and I'm gonna check and see if we can do a few things here. So, so, hey, what's up, buddy? So, just to kind of let you know what I've got going on tonight, I'm going to be doing a live unboxing of some things, and so I'm going to kind of be in and out doing some things. I got the studio set up, and I'm going to do a little bit of a little bit of photos and things like that, and talk to you guys about kind of how to set up cameras and things like that. What's up, buddy? So. I'm actually videoing this unboxing as well as, let's see if I can be good. So as well as streaming it. So I'm trying to do that, which is kind of weird for me because normally I'd like to have some music going, but obviously with, I'm not close to monetization yet, but when I do monetize, I don't have music. So this is going to be kind of weird for me. So let me see if this is going up. If I've got it going live here, I can see you guys. I'm gonna see what it looks like on my actual YouTube. So bear with me. I'm glad y'all are here. It's Friday night. So I thought I'd try something live and then maybe kind of see how the live stuff works. So hey, there I am. Alright, so I guess I don't need to watch it, so I'm good. Alright, I need to post this up on my Instagram and let people know that I'm live, but I'll do that in a minute. Alright, so this is what I've got going on. I don't know how many people I've got in the room, so you guys can send me messages and let me know if you're here. But, so, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing some shots. This is my Sony A9, and so I'm going to be videoing this live on here. So I guess I'm not going to do two. I just got my monitor here so I can view it, but my whole setup here is in the area where I do my headshot photographies and things like that. So I have my Flashpoint Explorer 600, with a 20 something inch beauty dish up there. So the Sony A9 with the G Master 24 to 72.8, and then here's my controller for the top of this, and all that just for you guys. I know that with what's up, Grant? So if you don't know, this is all wired to my off-camera flash. So when I trigger this, let's see if it wakes up. Ha ha! So it sets the flash on this. So what I'm going to do is do an unboxing. Once I get it unboxed, I'm going to take some photos of it, and then my goal is to kind of share some of those photos through my Instagram and kind of show you guys kind of how I do things, and show you kind of a little bit how I edit on the go. So if I just kind of let you guys know, with the Sony mirrorless cameras and with the newer cameras, DSLRs, a lot of times you can send your photo over to your smartphone or your iPad or whatever, and so that's kind of a way that you can send your photos over quick. So if you're on the go, like traveling, like I do, like when I do going on my little vacation stuff, I send pictures to my phone and I can put it on my Instagram or whatever kind of right away. So all right, so let's do the first part, which is going to be this unboxing. So basically this is, we just got back from Universal, and while we were there, I bought some stuff. I can't go to Universal and not buy stuff, so I'm going to kind of do an unboxing. So the very first thing that I'm going to unbox is something that I've been wanting for a while. It's from the Noble Collection. If you guys don't know what the Noble Collection is, it's basically a professional, or it's a replica prop site that a company that recreates things for movies, things like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts. They make their wands, they make some of the prop replicas. So obviously some of the older movies have a lot more props for them. So the Harry Potter series has quite a few things on the on their website. Now let me go ahead and tell you, the Noble Collection items can be expensive, and some of them can be like not necessarily so expensive. So but some of them are more expensive than the others. So like if you go and get a replica, you get to go get a replica broom from the Noble collection. That's going to cost you quite a bit, like $300 for a Firebolt or a Nimbus 2001 or a Nimbus 2000, which they don't even make anymore. So while I was in the park, something that if you guys are not familiar with the Harry Potter series, there's a dragon egg, and through the challenge, Harry has to he's challenged. He has to fight a dragon, and in the challenge against the dragon, he ends up having to get this egg. Now Harry calls for his Firebolt to come to him so he can actually evade being killed by the dragon, and so it chases him all through Hogwarts and through the castles areas and all around the rooftops and everything like that. And he just narrowly escapes the dragon and gets back to the arena where he collects the egg. Now when he gets the egg, he goes into the Gryffindor common room, and they're celebrating the fact that he got this golden egg. And when he tries to open up to show everybody kind of what's in it, it starts screaming and nobody understands what's going on. So if you've seen the movie, you kind of know what he has to do. He actually has to, Moaning Myrtle actually tells him that that he needs to open the egg underwater to reveal the hidden message that's in it. So I've always just thought that was super cool, and I think I'm going to 3D print one of these as well. But while I was in the studio, or while I was at Universal Studios, I went ahead and purchased this golden egg. So let me pull it up. So this is the Noble collection, the golden egg. Hey, you can see my you can actually see my my ring light. So here it is, Noble collection, and I've not even opened it. So I've been waiting to open this. I wanted to do it on camera. And I'm hoping this looks good because I'm doing it from my phone, and normally I use my better cameras to do all my videos and things like that, as you guys know. And so let me know if the quality looks garbage or whatever, and then I won't do this again. But I'm going to try it tonight just to kind of see. But as you can see, there's all kind of little intricate details on there, and you know, it's really neat. So I wanted this. This was it wasn't crazy expensive, but I want to say it was like, I was thinking it was like $70, $75. You can buy it on the Noble collection, their website. I think you can buy it for like $69. So I think I spent $73 on it. And cool thing is I actually have seen this when they opened it up in the shop. So if you buy anything at Universal Studios, they actually open it up to make sure everything's in there, because apparently they get a lot of complaints when people buy things and they get it home and they're like, oh, this thing had a scratch on it. So they complain and try to get a refund. But anyway, they opened it up in the store for me to kind of see it. So I already know this thing's cool. So I'm going to open this thing up, and then when we get it out, I'm going to show you guys how to photograph things. And let's see if you guys can see as we're opening this up. Pop this thing out. It's got styrofoam on it to protect it. And I'm gonna have to go and get my knife right here, because otherwise I'm not gonna be able to pop this open, and I don't want to rip all the foam apart. So give me 1 second. All right, I'm coming back. All right, sorry. I thought this was already popped open, but they taped it to kind of, so when I took it back, they would have this. So they actually opened this up in the shop, like I told you guys. Here's a little stand for it. There's a little stand, and I may actually print a cooler looking one later, but check this thing out. It's absolutely, it's really cool. Now, the only thing, let me just kind of tell you, if you end up buying this, so it's off to the side, it does not open. So in the movie, the golden egg opens. Check this thing out. I've been wanting it. I thought this was just really cool. So let me get this up so you guys can see some of the things that I didn't know that were on there. Is to actually have an owl on the top. And of course, in the movie, he turns the top of this and it opens up. Now, this one doesn't do that. This is a pretty solid replica. I mean, if you look at this thing, it's got all the details on here. And you know, in the movies, I mean, in this replica, there's some red thing. I guess there's some some red colors and things like that that I didn't actually. I don't know. I don't really care one way or another, but I don't think that was in the movie. But you can't really tell a lot of the details. But anyway, so this is the Dragon Egg. And I think it's just super cool. So I'm going to show you guys how to photograph this. And then I guess through my Instagram and stuff like that, I'm going to share what the photos look like. So right here I have what's called a Lazy Susan. Don't ask me why it's called a Lazy Susan. Susan, I'm sorry, whoever you are, if that's offensive. And I'm sorry if I keep getting up. But like I've got my camera. The setup for this is really crazy. I actually have my ring light. I got my camera for my regular videos that I video with, and everything's set up to do that. But then I decided I'm just going to do it live and try it like that. But anyway, all right, let me pop this thing off. So this was the big thing that they said in the studio that they really have a lot of complaints about. I guess when people get these, they're either not in the box, or they say they were not in the box, or they're scratched up. So all right. So I've got my Lazy Susan here, and it spins. It's for cakes, but it's really cool for photographs. You can kind of spin things around. If you guys saw my, Infinity Gauntlet, that's the thing at the end. Or if you looked on my Instagram and you saw where I had it spinning, it was on the Lazy Susan. So all right, so we're going to place this right in the center, and I may flip this over because I think that, okay, yeah, that's better. All right, so does that look like that's in the center? Looks pretty good. So it's in the center. I have, in the corners of my room, I have lights, and that's just kind of make it brighter in here. So, again, I'm shooting this with the Sony A9. You don't have to have a super expensive camera. You could use your cell phone to do product photography. Basically, what I've got set up here, if you look, I have 3 pieces of what's up, Bobby? So I have 3 pieces of laminate flooring, and that's just to kind of give it the floor background or whatever. And then I have a white backdrop and white on both sides. Now, when this flashes, basically what it's going to do is going to create a key light, which is, this is what's considered your key light. And this is my Flashpoint Explorer 600. Okay, this thing is... you can actually charge this up. You don't have to have it plugged up. And so I use this for a lot of my mobile shoots. If you guys are shooting mobily a lot, like if you do any photographs, like senior shoots, stuff like that, I would recommend amazing products with this Beauty Dish by Joel Grimes. It's a Westcott beauty dish, and I would recommend this. And basically what it is, it's got a... it has a diffuser on the outside of it, and also on the inside where the light flashes, it's got a metal piece that it reflects off of and shoots it back up against the white background, and then it sends it right back out. So the light, it kind of bounces against the metal plate, hits the white, and then reflects out, and it's diffused through the white backdrop. So what I'm going to do is I always turn my camera on first. So I'm going to kind of let you guys kind of see what I got going on here. Let me turn that off because it will. So I'm going to look at my f-stop. So the cool thing, if you guys are looking on the wireless, on the mirrorless camera systems, is as you adjust your f-stop and as you adjust your f-stop and your shutter speed, you can see the impact of that like right away. Now, once I turn on the flash, you know, it's going to do something different. As you guys see, it cuts off. When your eye goes up against the eyepiece, you know, the back screen turns off and it goes to the eyepiece. So you guys can't see that. Well, maybe you can kind of see it goes to the eyepiece. But, all right, so anyway, with this, I can actually see the adjustments I'm making. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll make sure my settings are good on here, and you can decide what kind of detail you want. So just kind of let you know, when you shoot wide open or at a low or a fast shutter speed, so like an f-stop 2.8, okay, when you're shooting that fast, it's considered wide open. So if you have an f1.4 or a 1.8 or 3.5 to 5.6, depending on how fast your lens will shoot, kind of dictates, you know, where you can actually shoot. So if you like to shoot wide open, it's great because you get a lot of bokeh in the background. So wide open means that it's really wide. It's a really, just think about an eyeball. It's wide open, and it makes everything in the background kind of blurry. Now, product photography, you actually want those details. So think about that for a second. If wide open makes things kind of really sharp in the center, but think about your eye, the things in the background are a little bit hazy. So think about that for a second. If you want it to be hazy details, then you obviously want to shoot it wide open. But if you want it to have a lot of details, you're going to want to turn that up. So, you know, and that's always to preference. But now keep in mind, however you turn that up, it impacts your shutter speed. Now, obviously, for those of you guys that understand ISO, you want to, anytime you're shooting with off-camera flash, you want to try to stay, I try to stay as low as possible. So I usually like to stay at ISO 100 when I'm in the studio. And then I make all my adjustments. Now, my shutter speed right now is if I turn it up, you know, to about, you know, what I can handle, what I can do as far as handheld, which is a lot different when you're shooting with Sony. It has an in-body stabilization, which this one's got, you know, it's got multiple axes of stabilization, which allows me to shoot at slower shutter speeds and not get the shaky blurriness and stuff like that. So I'm going to kind of show you how this works. Now, it's going to look dark, and when you shoot in the studio, when you set it up, you're going to notice that the back of your screen, and once you put your eye up, it's going to be kind of dark. And then you make adjustments. Now, this is a TTL version up here, which is through the lens, exposure compensation, and all that stuff. I like to shoot in manual, so I make the adjustments for the flash and with this. And this basically triggers the Flashpoint Explorer. So anyway, so there's the back of my screen, and it looks dark, right? So when I turn this on, okay, it's going to let my thing that I'm going to be using to flash. And so I'm just going to kind of start at, let's start at like 1/16 right here and kind of see what that looks like once I take a photo. And I'm just going to get up close and kind of see what that looks like. Look at the back of the monitor, and then I'm going to make adjustments. I'm at f6.3 at shutter speed 1/80th right there. You can see that. So I'm going to see what that looks like. I'm just guesstimating right now just to kind of see. So I'm going to take a shot and then come back and look at it. All right, so. All right, so I was actually pretty daggone close. So if you look at this, okay, so that was, so let's see what I can say. I can show you the readings. So that was 1/80th of a second, okay, f6.3 ISO 100. As you can see, this over here, for you guys that don't know, that's your histogram, okay? That when you've got your histogram, and if it looks like it's like almost like a good even hump, okay, then you've got a good reading. Now, I do have, if you guys can see there, right in the center, I do have a highlight, and that's blinking. Can y'all see that? So that's blinking. That basically means that there's very little or no information there in the highlight. It's blown out right there. So, you know, and that's obviously gonna happen with this. But I'm not crazy. I'm not right there. You can see that even though that's a highlight and it's a little bit blown out, there's still a lot of detail there. And I'm actually really happy with how that turned out. I'm going to take one more just to make sure. Now, you also notice that it shows me right where my focus was. So I've got this set up for, I can use the joystick on the back of the F9, on the A9, and I can pick the focus point that I want to use. So I'm going to take another photo just to kind of make sure, and I'm going to get a little bit tighter. Now, with this being a 24-70 lens, it's not a macro lens, but you can still get pretty close. And you'll notice that if you ever take a photo with a lens like this and you get too close, it won't actually go green. So it's not going to focus unless you've got it set to take a photo without it being locked on and focused. So I have it autofocus locked, so it actually goes green. I want it to make sure it's in focus before I take the photo. So let's try it again. So let's check this thing out. Again, I'm pretty happy with how that looks. Now, if I don't want the Lazy Susan, okay, if I don't want the Lazy Susan on there, like if I was doing a product photo that I wanted to look really nice with like the grainy wood bottom on this, I'd probably take the Lazy Susan off. So I'm going to take that off just a second and kind of see how it looks without it. So, I mean, it's just preference. So, obviously for product photography, whether you're doing jewelry or what's up, big dog? So, if you're doing any kind of product photography or anything like that, you obviously want to have a really good, you want the whole thing to look good. So, if you guys ever look on your Instagram and you see that people like take pictures of their iPhone with like a wood bottom or like it looks like a wood floor or anything like that, it just looks really neat. It looks really professional. So I'm going to zoom in on this and get it in really tight. So basically I've got, and I'm probably going to do a couple of vertical. So for you guys that are watching that are, you know, some of my students will probably watch this. This is considered a horizontal photo. And then when you turn it up like this is considered vertical. Now verticals, you've got to mix up your photography, whether you're shooting with your phone or with a DSLR or whatever the case may be, you know, mix it up. So typically landscapes, you're going to be shooting in what's called landscape mode, and then you got landscape and portrait. But don't get it twisted. You still shoot in, if you guys look, you can still shoot in what's considered landscape or horizontally and zoom in, and then obviously you can crop it and do all the things you want to do. So I'm probably going to shoot this one vertically, so I'm going to turn it up on its side. And the cool thing about this is I have buttons on the top of this, and this is basically a battery pack on this A9 that I can turn it up and hold it like this. Otherwise, now don't get freaked out. You don't have to have a vertical grip. You could just turn your hand like this. Now, the reason I don't like to hold my camera like this is because a lot of times when I'm shooting, I'm in crowds, I'm on the sidelines shooting a football game, and I want to be very compact when I shoot so nobody can bump me from the side. And so when you stick your elbow out, a lot of times, especially at the Tennessee games, if you're shooting a professional game or anything like that, sticking your elbow out, you could put your elbow right in the way of somebody. So let's try to take a vertical, and I'll show you what that looks like more zoomed in, so it's not necessarily in so that I'm in tighter, so there's less of the total space around the egg. And let's see what that looks like. Hold on one second. Okay, so it looks pretty good. I'm gonna get one more. Okay. Okay. Now, as you can see, I'm in tight. Now, obviously, when I do this, I'm gonna crop this photo in and get a little tighter. And I'm gonna get just a little bit. I'm gonna squeeze in just a little bit more and see what that looks like. Alright, I don't know why. I'm still a little bit off on the side, but I can fix that when I crop it in. But I'm pretty happy with how that looks. Let me zoom in on that so y'all can kind of see. I got a lot of details, okay? And I like how it looks. I'm getting a lot of details on the egg, which is something, obviously, if I'm going to show you guys what that looks like, I want a lot of those details. I'm not blown out anywhere. I can show y'all kind of the... see if I can show you so the histogram, as you can kind of see the histogram on the back. I still have the little flashing highlight there, but it's not blown out. I can still see those details, but I'm pretty happy with how that looks. Now, let me kind of talk to you, because I'm gonna actually send this over to my iPad while I'm talking to you, and then I'm gonna show you what that looks like. You can go look on my Instagram. So just to kind of talk you through this, okay, so if I took this photo and I want to put this on my Instagram, okay, let me show you how to do this from the Sony mirrorless system, and it's probably the same for a lot of the DSLRs. So basically I'll hit the function button, which is right here above this, and I'm going to basically choose, I'm I'm going to choose this image, okay? And it says checking image. It says it's looking for Wi-Fi standby. Okay, now it's going to give you like a little scan. Now, if you want to use your phone or your iPad or whatever to send this, you can actually use your camera to scan that. So, but I've already got mine set up. So I'm going to grab my iPad. Okay, got cat hair on this thing. So I'm going to pull up my iPad and I am going to get that in there. I'm going to go to my Wi-Fi. So basically, I'm going to my Wi-Fi settings, just so you don't have to see the back of this. I'm going to my Wi-Fi settings, and I'm pulling up it's my direct link to my A9. So I'm going to click on that Wi-Fi link, okay, and it's finding my phone, okay. So I'm connected to my A9 now. So now it's sending this photo over, and it goes into what's called, well, for the Sony system, they have the Play Memories. They have the Play Memories app, which, believe it or not, you guys are not going to believe this, but I don't know how, but I think I deleted the app off of my iPad. So I'm actually downloading it right now to pull it up. So it's sending it over, and it might send it over even without that, but let's see what happens here. So I send that over to my Play. I send that over to this app, and I think what I'm going to have to do, actually, I'm going to have to get off of the A9 because it's asking to connect to my Wi-Fi to download the app. So I'm going to do that first really quick. So bear with me just a second. Usually I would use... I'll send it over to my phone, and then from there you can just pull it up in your phone, go pull it in your Lightroom, edit it, do whatever you want to do there. So see, it's downloading that now. So now that that's downloaded, I'm going to go back to my camera. So let me pull that up. So I'm going to go back to my camera. Okay, hit the function button. Okay, hit the function button. Okay, function this image. Can y'all see that? Hit this image. It's looking for Wi-Fi. I pull up my Sony A9, okay, and then I go over to my app, which is the Play Memories app, okay. Saying start. This thing's okay. Play Memories act. Okay, yes. So it's already sending it over. So it's sending the photo over. Okay, it's one of one. Okay, y'all can see that. Sending the photo over. Once it sends it over, it says items copied. Hit OK. Check it out. There it is. Can y'all see that? All right, let me pull that up. So there's the image right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this live for y'all. So I'm going to go and I'm going to do it once I'm on here. I'm going to pull up my Lightroom. Okay, so you guys, whatever editing software, you can do it from your phone and then send it over to your Instagram. If you don't have Lightroom, I do. So basically, I'm just going to do it real quick and fast. I go into my Lightroom. You guys can see I have over 101,000 photos on Lightroom. I pay for that. It costs me, I mean, I do the whole Adobe suite and things like that. I'm not paid by Adobe to say that, but I have everything. As being a photographer, I obviously want to do that. So I'm going to click on the photo, and I'm going to add it. So let's see. So I'm going to go down here and say add photo. It's on there. Good. Okay, so now from here, it gives me options to edit it. So I'm kind of show y'all. So if I want to check the cropping, and if I want to make sure it's more set up. Now, since I'm going to send it to my Instagram, I could go in here and click it, and it gives me aspect ratios. Okay, and so I could pick square, 1:1 square, but obviously 1:1 square is going to crop that in too much, so I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to hit so basically I'm going to get out of that. I don't hit cancel on that. So I want to keep it as is, and then I can go in here and do the things that I want to do. But as is, I mean, honestly, I could straighten this just a little just to make sure it looks pretty straight. It does have an auto straighten mode, and it does it for you, but sometimes I like to do it myself. Okay, so there's the photo, what it looks like in my Instagram. Okay, it looks amazing already. I mean, I don't have to do anything to this. I mean, you can look the details on this. You can see. Now, the reason you can see the details, let me go back. I shot it at f6.3. Okay, so obviously I have to have a little more light to do that, and so it gets really good details. Now, if I was 2.8, my focus point's going to be really sharp, but on the outer edges, it's going to be a little bit more kind of what they call bokeh or bokeh. And so all that means is that, okay, just let me explain to you about focus points and what makes a photo sharp and what makes bokeh, okay, or bokeh, however you say it. So think about your eye. And I was looking, so I'm going to say I'm looking at my phone right now. So when I'm looking at my phone, I'm focusing on where my lens is looking at me, okay? So right where I'm looking at, what's up, Connor? So right where I'm looking at is going to be very focused and very sharp. Because I'm looking at that one spot, everything around it's going to be blurry. So think about your camera. So that's what's bokeh. So bokeh is the blurry part around. So basically, because I shot this at a higher f-stop, it's getting details from everything around it. So basically, it's looking at the whole picture, and it's not necessarily trying to focus in on one part. Now, you still have to focus on one part, but it gets more of a focus. It's looking at everything and not just a point. So here's this. So I could go in here and do some cool little edits if I wanted to through my Lightroom, just to kind of do that. So I like to look at effects, and that's clarity, which bumps it up, but it kind of makes it look dark. So something you can do if you want to just specifically make the clarity or the give more details to something, okay? Clarity is something on any of you. Now, if you're looking in Instagram, it's called structure. You can up your structure. If you do it too much, it looks ridiculous. So for this, so I can go down here and I can do a selective edit, and I can do a selective edit and pick this, this elliptical tool. Let's go back, okay? And I can highlight just the egg portion, okay? I can highlight this, and if y'all can see that, okay, and I can basically just up the clarity on this and not anything around it. But let me tell you a little tip, a little trick, okay, especially if you're using Lightroom, something you can do. Okay, this is the invert button, okay? It says invert. So basically when I push it, you'll see, hold on, everything around the egg, okay, is red now. So it's basically showing you what's impacted around it. So I can make the things around the egg be impacted by clarity, which is something you can play around with. So I'm hitting effects and I bump up the clarity. So basically all the wood, so I'm gonna hold it so you can see that before effect. See, that takes it off. See, it's off and there's on. So it bumped up the clarity of the wood grain. See, that's before and that's after. So I inverted it so it didn't impact the egg, the Harry Potter egg, but it didn't impact the wood grain, which I really liked. Okay, so there's that. And then if I want to bump up the saturation a little bit just to kind of make it, actually let me hit OK because that's going to bump up the, so if I want the whole photo to the color on it, if I want to bump up your vibrance or the saturation just a little bit to make it really gold, okay, I can do that. If it's too much, here's the thing about editing. A little goes a long way, okay? So you want to make small adjustments that are smart adjustments. If you do too much, if you bump up your saturation and contrast too much on photos, it's just really ridiculous. It just starts, and I did it, so I'm very guilty of doing too much. So as you can kind of see, here's the before, and I've only done 2 or 3 things. I bumped up the clarity, surrounding area, okay, just to kind of give the wood grain a little bit of a cooler look, okay? And then I bumped up the saturation to 34 and to 25 and the vibrance to 34. So if I wanted to take that back, I could, but it looks good. It's very golden looking, okay? So it really bumps that up and really highlights it. So now once I get it there, okay, so we've done all the editing. Now there is, looks like I must have had, I want to show y'all something. You see that little dot there? Okay, I don't know if y'all can see that little tiny dot. Looks like I got something on my lens or on, I think it's probably just something from, it's just a little bit of a dot, like a speck, like a piece of dust or something. And anyway, so I could pop that off, but I'm not really stressing about it. So I've got it in my camera, so now I want to post this. So I go to Save to Camera Roll, Okay, it says smaller maximum available. I'm gonna do maximum. Okay, and I'm gonna post this on my Instagram so you guys can kind of see it now. So it's already done that, and so all I have to do is go to my Instagram now, which is Napier Photography in 3D. I got to put my password in. Apparently, I didn't do that. So I'm logging in to my Instagram right now. Okay, I'm in there. I'm on my Instagram, and I'm about to post. So there, I select it, and I'm going to select photo. No, I don't want to do that. I want to add. Go to the library. Okay, I select the egg, and let me tell y'all a little tip. Okay, on your photos, you see in the corner this little expand thing. You can expand that and adjust that to fit whatever you're doing. Now, you know, that's 1-to-1, and you can expand it just a little bit and then just make some adjustments, okay, to kind of get your photo in. I can make some more adjustments if I'd like to, but let's say I'm happy with that, okay? So then I'm going to hit next, okay? I could add multiple photos, obviously, and I could look at their little, their filters and things like that, but I'm not doing that. I'm just going to basically hit next, and I'm just going to put, let's see, Dragon Egg. Photo shoot. So Dragon Egg, y'all are going to see this on my Instagram in just a second. Dragon Egg photo shoot. Okay, and then let me do real quick. What I like to do, this is another little tip for you guys that are on your Instagram. Okay, if you have an Instagram and you want to have that, you're going to have the same hashtags or whatever. You can go online and you can find the top hashtags for whatever it is you're posting about. Okay, and then you can highlight those. And then you can bring those into your Instagram and post them. I'm gonna give you a little pro tip on how to get a few more follow. Listen, I'm not huge, but I'm growing. So I put into my thing Harry Potter hashtags, and then I'm gonna find a link, and it's gonna basically give me a whole list of Harry Potter hashtags that I can use. Okay, so I can decide what because Instagram gives you 30. You can post 30 hashtags on your Instagram. Okay, it gives you 30. Let's see. I'm not quite sure if this is the one I want, but I'm just going to go ahead and highlight the whole thing. So I found this, and all I did was highlight it. I found it, and I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to go back to my Instagram. Okay, so I'm back to my Instagram, and I'm going to show you a little tip, okay? And you have to do this on your keyboard shortcut, okay? Create a shortcut, and you want to label it uppercase B, lowercase bb, and then enter in how many spaces that you want. This is the way you can post on your Instagram and not have all these hashtags right up underneath your title. Okay, now you could actually make a comment and post those under your comments so it's not actually on your photo. But what I do is I go ahead and put Dragon Egg photo shoot. I'll go B, B, B. It gives me a space. I hit it and see how it's spaced over. Okay, then I hit space again, uppercase B, 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 and there's a space here, but I've already set up this shortcut. Hit it and it spaces me. Okay, and then I hit space again. It goes to uppercase B. I go B, BB, gives me that space again, and you have to set that up in your thing to do that. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just tap, and then I'm going to paste. So all of those, I don't even know who James Phelps is, but anyway, it gave me Fred Weasley, Bonnie Wright. I don't know. These must be the actresses and actors. Some of them I do know, some of them I do not. I'm going to put hashtag Sony A9. Just because it's the camera I'm shooting with and I want that to pop up. So I take off some of the ones that I don't want and then put the ones I do want. But if you want to get your Instagram game up a little bit, you want to do that. So Sony A9, I'll hit OK, and I can tag people. I could send it to my to whatever I want to, whatever my social media things that I want to post it to, and I'm going to hit share. You guys will see this right now. Okay, so if you go to my Instagram, Napier Photography in 3D, Not now. Let's see. You're going to see that's what I posted on my Instagram. You guys can get on there and say, so it's Napier Photography in 3D, and it's, you know, it's on there. It's pretty easy. So, and you can kind of see that no one's liked it yet. So that's kind of sad. So there's kind of how you can do some product photography on that. So we got the golden egg, and I took you from unboxing to setting up a little thing. Now in your room, so if you guys want to do something really small, you could just get some white sheets, iron them out, put them up, get you a good light. Even if you don't have a flash, you can do it just with good light, and then just get something that's going to hold your camera really still, because flash obviously is going to knock out a lot of that blur. And you can do that and get a really good photo. So, you know, obviously, you know, the key is for photographers is you want to get exposure, and so the better your photos are, your Instagram and all that stuff, it's important. You know, it's important. Let's see, is anybody liking it already? Nobody's liking it yet. But anyway, it's on there. It's on my Instagram already. That's the photo I took here with you guys. I already posted it, and I already put the hashtags on there, and then hopefully people will start liking it. But if not, you guys can at least see how, you know, and it looks like I've really professionally done, which it was by me, a professionally done photo. So, but I showed you kind of how to set that up. Now, something just really simple. I probably should put, I should go in here, because this is a Noble collection, and people will get on here and look up stuff for Noble collection. So if you ever don't get a hashtag that you want and you can put it in there, you can actually go in and edit your things. And I could take off, you know, one of the other ones I don't necessarily like, and put Noble collection, Noble collection, because a lot of people like to go on there and look at that and hit done and save it. So basically, if you guys are not sure, most of you guys know how hashtags work, but a lot of my kids watch my videos. If you're not sure how hashtags work, basically a long time ago with computer programs and things like that, in order to find things in programs and stuff like that, they would put a hashtag, whatever the command was, and so that was a way to find all the information on that certain thing through that hashtag. So they implemented that into social media, and so when you do a hashtag, everybody who pushes the Sony A9 or the Harry Potter Noble Collection egg, whatever, they basically, everybody who's posted anything on Harry Potter, everything on Harry Potter pops up. If you anything on the Noble Collection, that's going to be all things on the Noble Collection. So that's just a way for you guys to kind of be a little bit more selective in how you're putting things on your Instagram. So now, like I said, the other thing that's really cool that you can do that's awesome with the Sony A9 and with any camera is a lot of times if you guys are doing your YouTube stuff is for your what's called B-roll. So B-roll is basically extra footage that you do while you're videoing that you can implement and put into your videos that just kind of make it cool. Now you can put those things in the commentary, let the video, whatever you recorded, play, and then have whatever you videoed kind of playing as you're talking, and that's really simple. And all you've got to do, especially if you're using Premiere Pro, is you basically just pull in whatever camera 1 or camera 2, whichever one when you pull that footage in, and it just is on the top, and basically that's what's showing. So if you think of a layer, you just pull the layer that's got the B-roll on top, and you let the audio keep playing, and basically as you talk, as you talk, the B-roll plays. Now, I'm going to show you something really cool for slow motion. So, I'm going to show you how to do that on this. Now, on the Sony A9, there's an actual select button on here that I can turn it to, okay? And if I want to do just really slow, it's S and O on here, and I turn that knob on the top. Y'all can see it's all the way over there. Okay, so basically it sets my camera up to record in slow motion. Okay, now obviously my settings are 1/25 of a second. If you guys a DSLR, just so you know, anytime you do video, the best setting I find for video is 1/25 of a second. And the only thing with that is when you do set your camera to 1/25 of a second, you have to make other, sorry, that's somebody's at my front door. You have to do other settings and adjust things so that the lighting's still good. So 1/25 of a second on your shutter speed, and then everything else you just have to make adjustments so that it looks good in camera. So I'm going to show you how to do a slow motion, and because this is in slow motion, my fast movement's going to look really smooth. So I'm going to show you how to do this. So basically I'm zoomed in to the egg, and I've got it set up, and I'm probably going to bump my ISO up just so it's a little brighter. So I'm at ISO. So I went over there and looked at it. So I bumped it up to ISO 400, and I'm still at 1/25 of a second, but I'm at f3.5. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So I'm going to pan from the bottom up. So I'm basically going to start recording. All right, so it's that fast. So now what's really cool about slow motion is, I'm going to go back and hit play so y'all can kind of see. So this was in slow motion on here. I'm going to hit play so y'all can kind of see. Watch this. Well, shoot, sorry. There's that. Watch it come up. I know, right? So this would be like a really cool, just something super fast that you can do for your videos and put it in as B-roll. So like, let's say you're walking in the woods, you can have someone record you walking, and basically, like okay, so I'll do another one where I'm facing my camera system. So let's see. So I'm gonna bump my ISO back down. Let's see. What do I got here? Let's see. Let's see what happens here when I do this. All right, so we'll see how that looks. It didn't look very good because it's so bright. So there's that, and there's my setup with the ring light. See how slow that is? It's just buttery smooth. And a lot of your cameras are not going to have that setting. Now, your iPhones, you can do slow like that. And all you have to do is when you do, if you record something on your iPhone to put on your videos, all you have to do is just go in there, because you know it'll go, it's like a normal speed, and then all of a sudden it goes, it slows down. So then what you do is go into edit and just do that little slider and slide to the part where the actual slow motion you want is there, and then just basically stop it from there, and then get to the end when it's speeding back up and pull your slider to where you want it from there. So pretty easy little setup, but like I said, the Noble Collection egg. I actually have a couple of other Noble Collection things that I'm going to show you guys. But like I say, this is an expensive setup. You don't have to have this. Obviously, I want you guys to understand that you work with whatever you have and make it work for you. Don't don't stress out and think that you got to have all this really expensive equipment, and because you don't. I mean, it's nice. I'm glad that I do have it, but it's not something that you have to have. So anyway, the Noble Collection egg. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. I realize this is a little bit longer video, but I want to kind of take you guys from the beginning to the end on how to do a little product shoot. And like I said, I don't know how these live videos will go. I'm kind of hoping this will be something I can do every once in a while and do a little live feed. I'm gonna go live on my I think I'll do a live feed from my Instagram too, just because I want to kind of hit both and just kind of see how it goes. But on my Instagram, I can actually play music, so it's not going to demonetize my channel, which I'm not making any money on it because I don't have enough followers yet. Yet, I said. So anyway, really cool. Hope you guys, hold on, let me tell you, I'm going to give you an update real fast so you can see how many, if anybody's actually liked my Noble Collection egg photo. Let's see if they have. Let's check. So pulling up my Instagram. I have, oh, it's so sad. I have one like. I have one like and one new follow. So obviously my Instagram game's not very strong. So anyway, that's the photo. And you can see it says 1 like. Oh, well. Anyway, no big deal. Sometimes people are going to get on there and go crazy. It also depends on when you post and... What's up? Oh, listen, I really appreciate you. That's so spoiler. Oh my gosh, you are awesome. So if you guys, spoiler, that's so awesome. Somebody's watching it live and liked it. You are awesome. Thank you so much. That's so cool. And I am going to follow you because you know what? That is absolutely booyah. I am following because you know what? That's cool. That's super cool that you're watching live and you looked at this and you liked it. You're amazing. So anyway, for those of you guys that are primarily print 3D, I'll show you his channel. Get on there, follow him. He's got 146 followers. Yeah, you guys should get on there and follow him. Dude, you do a lot of 3D printing. That's so cool. So these are some of the things that he's printing. And let's see. Dude, I'm about to go in here and look at more of your stuff. Oh, wow. So you're doing Disney inserts. Bro, I'm going to have to look at this. So cool. Absolutely. That's awesome. Really, really cool. So looks like you do a lot of things on here. But anyway, go on there. If you find primarily print 3D, give him a follow. Tell him that I sent you. I don't have a huge following either. But, you know, hey, it's not about that. It's about creating things and having fun. So anyway, I hope you guys kind of like this. I know that I do 3D printing and photography, but I kind of wanted to show you guys everything that I do because, you know, I'm not going to let people lock me into something I'm doing and say, oh, I'm not following you because you're 3D printing. I do 3D printing, and I am going to 3D print this egg. Yeah. Yeah, well, you know what? I'll have to go in there and I'll push you out onto my Instagram too. So, yeah, I've got to do some Etsy things as well. And we might want to get together on a few things because I've been working on a few things with the Apple smartwatch with doing some things, some really cool things. And so maybe we can get together on something. But like I say, I've got 3 3D printers, and hopefully I want to do a lot more stuff with my Etsy game as well and have a few things in the store. But anyway, thank you guys for watching my live feed. And I like I said, I don't know how this works. I don't know how this, if this is good, if this is something you guys want, but I'm thinking about maybe going live at least once or twice a week, maybe more if it goes over well. And the reason I think is because, believe it or not, there's not a lot of editing to this. And so I'm hoping the video's not crap. Like, I want to go back and watch this and see how good the video looks on there. So, you know, it's like, you know, if this is an easy setup thing that I can do and the quality looks nice, because I'm all about how it looks, because I can't stand watching YouTube channels that have grainy and garbage videos. So if this doesn't look good coming from my phone live and I have to shoot it through my camera to do, then I'll do that and then run it through my computer. But this was just way easier for me to set this up and do it through my phone. And so hopefully this is good enough front facing that it's not garbage quality and it looks okay. But I like the live thing because I'm not gonna have to sit in front of my computer now and edit like crazy and do all that stuff. And I'm probably gonna come back. I've actually got 3 other, is it 3? I have 3 other Noble Collection things that I have to unbox that I haven't unboxed. And I also have 3 other Smuggler's Bounty boxes that I got that I haven't unboxed. And I also have some other things that I got for Easter and a few other things that I ordered and some 3D prints that I'm going to show you guys. But hit that like button. Follow me on my Instagram, you know, and I appreciate you guys. Like I said, we're at 280 something followers, man. Are we at 280? I don't know. We're 279, 280. I don't know where we are. You know, our goal is to get over 1,000. We'll see if we can get there. And maybe, who knows? Maybe one day I'll be laughing because this video is talking about getting to 1,000. I'm at 100,000 subscribers. How crazy would that be? I mean, it's not impossible. You just got to grind. You know, grind. And hopefully through my photography. Oh, and real fast, Sunday, as long as it doesn't rain, I've got another photo shoot that I'm doing a senior photo. Young man I'm doing out of Rockmart or Polk County. I'm doing his senior shoot, and I have a real estate listing that I'm doing Sunday as well. And then next weekend, the 21st, huge announcement. I'm going to be at Media Day at the Georgia Renaissance Fair. So you guys, if you guys don't know about the Georgia Renaissance Fair in Fairburn, Georgia, you got to go. They joust. They have huge turkey legs. You can eat tons of food. They have cosplay people dressed up as pirates and jousters, and you can dress up as anything you want. And I'm going to be there shooting photos. My family was invited to Media Day. I'm so pumped about being there. This is like year 4 or 5 for me being there. I'm very honored to be there. So I plan on doing a vlog that day. I might even go live. I might even go live during a joust. Who knows? So appreciate you guys following my channel. Appreciate all the likes and all the love on my Instagram, especially from you, primarily 3D printing. Appreciate. Did I say that right? Did I say that right? I want to speak. Hold on. Yeah. Primarily print 3D. Sorry. Yes. And I appreciate you commenting and being on here watching my video. Anyway, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification button. What's going on? Oh my gosh, that is, okay. I'm going to have to, I can't leave now because I have Joel. What are you doing, buddy? I just got through doing a photo shoot. I just did a photo shoot and I just posted on Instagram. I was talking to him about how to go from an unboxing to a, I know, yeah, it's really cool. So I basically, this is the Joel. I don't know if you're a 3D, if you're a Harry Potter fan. I know you did your Elder Wand or whatever. So yeah. So this is the Noble Collection Dragon Egg that I got at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Yeah, and so I was showing people how to do an actual product shoot with my setup, and this is, I'm in studio here, and this is where I do a lot of my headshots and stuff like that. And so I showed them how to basically, primarily print 3D. He actually liked, he was my only like on Instagram, which was so funny. And he got on here and he said, spoiler alert, that was me. That's so crazy. So anyway, I was showing them how to basically do product photography for things. And Joel, you'll be the first to say that, you know, your video can be amazing, but the quality, sometimes the photos and stuff like that, you know, if you guys are not familiar with the 3D printing nerd, thank you for getting on. I'm very honored that you're actually in here watching me on my channel. But he's somebody that I've look up to 3D printing, and he's just an amazing YouTuber. If you guys don't follow him, you should, because he's absolutely ridiculous. And but as you know, quality videos and editing them, and yes, hey, the Canon 1DX is amazing. Now, Joe, I don't know if you know this. Let me show you my camera. I'm a Sony shooter, so this is the Sony A9, okay? What's up, Malachi? Some of my students are in here, but this is the Sony A9. I don't know if you're familiar with it, Joel, or not, but the Sony A9, I have the Sony A9, the A7 II, and the A6000, which I do my above angle photos with that. But with the mirrorless system stuff, it's really cool, and you can go back and watch, I guess, the video from before. But what's really cool about this, Joel, I don't know if you're into photography or you just have it for video or whatever, but something that's, yeah, it's what I shoot my weddings with. It's what I shoot for the University of Tennessee, and I shoot on the sidelines with, when I shoot the SEC football games with. So if you're not familiar with the mirrorless cameras, which I'm sure, Joel, I'm sure you are, you basically, what you see is what you get. You know, so when you make adjustments to your shutter speed, you know, you see exactly what you're going to get as far as exposure wise goes. So you get your readings, you can look at the camera almost and shoot like that. So if you change your f-stop, you know, or, you know, we just call it the aperture and things like that. But when you make your adjustments, you see what you're getting in camera right away, and you see what changing your ISO and all that. So when I tell people that a mirrorless camera for people that a long time, and then you see that quick adjustment, that you can make, and you don't have to take a photo. I don't know if you know how, I don't know about the Canon 1DX. It's an amazing camera, Joel, but like sometimes you take a photo, you look and you're like, okay, even if you've set your exposure and you feel like you've got the perfect exposure, you go in and you look, and you're like, oh man, that's a little bit underexposed. And even though it says it's only underexposed by, you know, maybe a half stop or a quarter stop or whatever, you end up having to take another photo. And sometimes it's that little, and I was a Canon shooter and a Nikon shooter forever. So when I made the switch to Sony, it was that little thing, like when I'm doing a wedding and I can't afford to miss that shot. When I can't afford to miss that shot on the sideline at the Tennessee game, yeah, sometimes you have to take a second photo, and you know, and even though you can go back and fix those photos, I find that I don't miss a lot of shots with the Sony with the Sony systems. Like I say, the 1DX is expensive. This thing, I want to say, yeah, it really improves my workflow. So you know, Joel, you might want to try. You might want to try you a Sony mirrorless system. I mean, you got a really nice rig system, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But the mirrorless systems are so dope. I mean, they are just so good. You don't have to have this expensive rig. This I don't even want to say how much this is because my wife's probably watching, and I don't know if she knows. Shh, don't tell her. But anyway, this system with the lighting and all that stuff, it's a fairly pricey setup. But for what I do, this is what I use. So when I do a wedding and I'm shooting mobile, let me show you something really cool that a lot of you guys may not know about. But when I shoot mobily and I have off-camera flash, yeah. Yeah. Dude, yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. For sure. Yes, absolutely. Well, you know what? I'll message you and we can talk. I would love to, I have to go back and kind of look at the comment because I'm trying to look and see what all everybody's posted on here. It says, 5 ways to improve your photos of your 3D prints. Yes, absolutely. Listen, I would really appreciate that. And in the future, Joe, I would love to figure out a way to collaborate with you and maybe set up time to do your headshots. Yeah, you need headshots, buddy. Even though you're like Mr. Famous Guy and everybody knows who you are, how cool would it be to get your headshots done? Yeah, I know, right? Yes, you do. Everybody needs, I've got to be you. Everybody needs good headshot. You all need it. I mean, all of you 3D guys, you know, you and Daryl, all you guys, we need to set it up. I'll come and do your, listen, we can set it up. And it doesn't have to be your typical business suit, whatever. You can, dude, you can rock your merch. I mean, it's fine. Or you could do whatever, but you need a headshot, and we could do family shoot, whatever, and do that. But we could collaborate on some stuff, and I can do your photos and take pictures of you and your family and do your headshot. And then, because me and Daryl actually been talking about doing, oh yeah, Bay Area Maker Faire. See, I'm not good enough yet, okay? I'm not good enough, and I'm not doing enough with the 3D printing because with being a teacher, I'm having to really, as you know, Joe, trying to occupy my time and be a family guy and do all the other things that I do. The 3D printing and the video and the productions, I'm staying up so late, and I'm preaching to the choir for those of you that are 3D guys, you know, to put your videos out, to really do good editing. All that stuff happens, and all that stuff happens after everybody goes to bed and you stay up late. But yeah, I'll produce a video and you feature it, but we can collaborate and do some things, and maybe something in my videos can help some of you guys that once you do your 3D printing, like there's a lot of people that do 3D printing and actually sell their stuff, and there's a lot of people that do 3D printing and then want to feature what their 3D prints look like. I know that there's a bunch of guys that, you know, they post it on their Instagram and stuff like that, but you can still really focus on getting good photos and video of your 3D prints and how to really get good lighting, because as you know, lighting's a big deal, and the lighting's almost as important as the camera, to be honest with you, because the better the lighting is, that your camera doesn't have to be as nice if you've got good lighting. And so anyway, But listen, I'm here to tell you, I'm blown away. I can't believe that one of my idols got on here tonight. Joel's on here. I can't believe you jumped on here, and I really appreciate, in the 3D printing community, uh, Joel's probably the Elvis. Should I say Elvis? I don't know. He's the man. So, um, well, I appreciate it. So it's one of those things where everybody in the 3D community, 3D printing community is just really supportive of one another. I know, yeah, you're Elvis, man. Well, you're not that old. So, and I mean, I'm older than you. So, but I was just thinking, no, I don't know. We got to think of a more recent. Who are you? Are you the Brad Pitt of 3D printing? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm 44, Joel. So I'm 44, and yeah. Hey, the Canon Rebel X is a good one too. I think Canon's just got great stuff. Yeah. Well, hey, I told you I'm older than you, but let me give you a little tip. I actually dyed my beard recently. Spoiler alert: I dyed my beard and my hair because I started noticing that my lights were really making my beard look very, very white. Like, because you use cool lighting, it makes you look cool. And I don't mean like cool in the sense that, hey, I'm looking cool. It made me look very cool. So like my beard was even whiter and my hair was looking super white. So I was like, I got to fix this. And I used to dye it all the time and nobody knew it. But what's funny is you guys will think this is funny, but my students knew it right away. Like I have morning cafeteria duty, and so as soon as my students walked in, they're like, "Coach, what'd you do? What did you do?" And I'm like, "Listen, I'm not. I don't have to rationalize. I dyed my beard, whatever, I dyed my beard, my hair, and that's I wanted to look younger. I've got a beautiful wife, and I wanted to look young. But yes, I'm live. But so anyway. Oh no, I know. Yeah, it was trying to buffer. Somebody tried to call me. I'm live. What are they doing? Anyway, yes, I dyed my beard because I'm 44 and I went gray pretty fast. And I got my first gray hair when I was 17. And whatever. It's just what it is. And then when I got in college, I had a beard, and I would tell my wife, which was my girlfriend at the time, she this is horrible, but she was plucking them out. Like she took tweezers, and when we lay around and watch TV, I want to say it was like Dawson's Creek. I'm telling my age a lot here, but we watched Dawson's Creek and stuff, and she would pluck out little gray hairs. And I swear that from her doing that, it like made it worse. It like made it even more gray than it was. Because then I started getting like everywhere she plucked is like 4 gray hairs came out, and then it started getting more and more. So as I got older, I would just dye it. Nobody really knew. And then this year, for whatever reason, I just didn't dye it. And all of a sudden it got super gray and I was looking really old. And so when I dyed it again, my kids were like, anyway, y'all are not on here to talk about my beard. But I'm going live here. I'm just trying to speak it to you. But anyway, I'm going to be doing a video thanks to Joel. I'm going to do a video and do 5 ways to have better videos for your 3D prints. Because even though I like... And you can't really get away with it. I'm going to show you guys, like, even though I like shooting with my GoPro Session for my 3D prints, as you guys know, 3D prints, like bigger 3D prints, oh my gosh, you guys, okay, the RC car that Joel has, it's like, is it the Guinness record? Is it, Joel, is it the record? I think it is the record. I think your RC car is like, it's got to be the Guinness, it's got to be the record. It's the biggest open RC car, 3D printed RC car in existence. I think if you don't know, go and look on his channel. Yeah, it's got to be the largest. That thing is like, I don't know how many pounds of filament that thing used, but it's an ungodly amount. But if you can imagine the hours and time that it took to 3D print that, so in order to record that, there's no telling to do that. If you wanted to do like a time lapse of that 3D print, it'd just be ungodly how long that took. I mean, just for like smaller prints that are detailed, I mean, you sometimes can do a 3D print that takes 2-3 days. So when you try to record that on a like a GoPro session, and you have to have good lighting and all that stuff so the video looks good. So when you do your time lapse, the video looks good. I ran into the trouble that when I recorded with my GoPro session, I had my lights set up. When that thing recorded for 72 hours, I had lights on that whole time and I had that lit up, and it was difficult. So I had to find a better way. So one of the reasons why I bought a secondary LED or a secondary ring light. Joel, I don't know if you have a ring light or not, but that would be something you might want to look at too. So I bought this so I can mount my GoPro Session on the ring light mount and just have it. It's because it's basically like where I'm looking right now is a camera, and so if I do my GoPro Session in the middle of this ring light, I can basically point it at my CR10 or whatever printer I'm using, and get better lighting, and these LED lights are not hot. So that's the keys. That some of the lights that I was using before I got this ran a little hot, and which is nice for it kind of, I guess it's better than your it kind of kept my 3D printer warmed up and all the filament and stuff like that. But when you're running that hot, it just it's not a good thing. So anything you can incorporate LED lights and stuff like that. So I guess I got to think on that about how to, I have a problem with, if you guys have watched my videos, I tend to jump around a lot. I don't have ADHD, but I'm definitely probably ADHD-ish. Yeah. Anyway, hey, I will send you an email and we'll converse. I'm about to end this live video anyway, but Joel, thank you so much for dropping by. And for those of you guys that have followed me, definitely go follow the 3D Printing Nerd on his YouTube channel as well. He's hilarious. And anyway, I just appreciate you guys so much for getting on here live, supporting me. So I'm going to jump off and do a few other things and maybe start some 3D prints. But I guess that's all for tonight. And we'll check y'all later.